Witness the hidden battles that turned breakfast into biotech and meet the empires now programming global appetites. Europe and North America industrialize food, and regulation rises to rebuild trust across long, opaque supply chains. 1850s Europe and North America. Watered milk, tinted butter, and risky cans sever trust from the maker. New York's Borden standardizes milk through condensation and branding, turning safety into a commercial promise. Urban adulteration forces oversight, and Borden's label pledge meets filthy city handling with cautious consumer hope. 1850, Washington. President Zachary Taylor's fatal illness makes milk safety a national priority overnight. Pittsburgh's Heinz doubles down on purity, using clear glass and honest labels to sell what's inside. By the 1860s, purity itself becomes a brand. Labels are currency in a low-trust marketplace. Europe to North America. The bustling 1860s market stall hides hazards behind distance and anonymity. Milwaukee's Pabst shows why big producers back rules. Standards protect scale from cheaters' shortcuts. 1862, Lincoln creates the USDA, giving Washington authority to guide messy national food chains. 1906, the Pure Food and Drug Act outlaws false labels, making fraud a federal offense. A Heinz glass bottle gleams, signaling transparency as competitive advantage after 1906. Battle Creek's Kellogg reframes breakfast as nutrition, not habit, with cereals built for health. An early Kellogg carton hints at the coming era, packaging as classroom for families. Pabst and peers push for fair rules. Disciplined standards protect investment and reputation. Chicago's Morton Salt prepares to turn a public health fix into a mass-market staple. 1913, the Gould Amendment moves information outside the pack so shoppers can decide at shelf. Morton's iodized salt, 1924, quietly prevents goiter and proves fortification can work. Minneapolis's General Mills consolidates mills into a consumer powerhouse built to scale nutrition. Wheaties arrives with athletic swagger, linking breakfast to performance long before barcodes. In the 1920s, Kellogg prints nutrition tips and recipes, training households to read for health. In the 1930s, fortified dairy resurfaces as prevention. The milk aisle learns to carry vitamins. 1933 brings vitamin D milk. Rickets declines as fortified dairy becomes routine. Enriched bread loaves debut in the early 1940s, embedding B vitamins and iron in the daily loaf. 1941 to 42, a defense nutrition push sets flour standards. Within months, fortified bread floods the market. Cheerios, 1941, turns oats into a national habit with simple rings and sturdy nutrition. Kellogg's back panel becomes a vitamin lesson, making science part of breakfast. 1938 rules require artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives to be listed, raising the transparency bar. Evansville's Mead Johnson stakes its future on infant nutrition, where trust is everything. Enfamil, 1959, reshapes feeding choices with standardized, science-led formula. Abbott Park enters the frame, bringing pharma-grade rigor to everyday nutrition. 1964, Abbott buys Ross Laboratories in Columbus, cementing the base for Similac and future Ensure. Early Ensure, 1967, reframes nutrition as care for the elderly, the ill, and the recovering. 1962, the consumer right to be informed makes clear nutrition data a civic expectation. 1967, the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act orders ingredients by amount, precisely and plainly. 1969, a White House conference pushes FDA toward prevention and nutrient quality. Ensure's 1973 rollout makes complete liquid nutrition mainstream in American hospitals and homes. Nature Valley, 1976, puts oats in your pocket and snacks on the health spectrum. 1977 Senate goals: more produce, less salt and sugar. Packaging starts reflecting policy. The 1970s health turn: jogging, anti-smoking, home cooking, primes shoppers to read labels. In the 1980s, fiber and cholesterol claims surge, inviting scrutiny and hard science. Vede's Nestlé knits pediatric and clinical nutrition into a long-life research agenda. Across Europe, Nestlé's labs connect early life feeding to lifelong health outcomes. A Nestlé formula tin signals that infant feeding is now a science-led, regulated choice. 1990, the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act standardizes panels and raises the bar on health claims. The stark, black and white Nutrition Facts Panel becomes the world's template for trust. In the 1990s, the EU, Canada, and Australia harmonized labels, enabling apples-to-apples comparisons. 1994 brings qualified claims, opening a cautious lane between silence and consensus. Pre-1990s, labels were a patchwork. After NLEA, comparisons became credible and quick. Whole grain and fiber move from lab lectures to grocery end caps, vetted under stricter evidence. Significant scientific agreement sets the tone in 1990, aligning marketing with proof. A 1942 enriched bread poster sells victory through vitamins and iron. 1928, General Mills merger readies mass culture for mass nutrition. From fraud to facts, fortification plus labels reward the truthful. Households learn prevention at the pantry. From Tokyo to Paris to U.S. shelves, functional foods find their governing grammar and global scale. Tokyo's Yakult anchors the idea that a living culture can deliver a daily health benefit. 1984, Japan funds prevention research to bend healthcare costs before they bend the nation. 1991, Foshu stamps credibility on function, turning proof into a market signal. Yakult's Foshu bottle, 1998, wears official validation and goes from niche to national. Harris's Danone aligns dairy heritage with microbiome science and patient long-term brand building. 1987, Activia begins in France with a probiotic strain for gut comfort. Fountain Valley brings Yakult to the U.S., translating a Japanese habit into American curiosity. 1999, Yakult USA leans on sampling and education to teach live and active to new palates. Across Asia, Yakult ladies sell trust face-to-face, turning microbiology into neighborhood care. White Plains scales Danone's probiotic promise for American refrigerators. Activia's 2006 U.S. launch sells daily regularity in a tone consumers welcome at last. By 2009, Activia hits 2.6 billion euros, proving probiotics can go truly mainstream. 2010, U.S. settlement trims clinically proven language and clarifies servings. Claims grow up. 2019, Yakult tops 40 million bottles a day across 114 countries. Yakult's charted climb shows controlled country-by-country education paying off over decades. Gainesville, 1965, a sideline cooler births sports hydration as a science. Cade's formula balances sugar, sodium, and osmolality for performance under heat. By 1967, Success jumps from college fields to regional shelves. By 1973, those orange coolers signal a new category: hydration as essential equipment. Quaker in Chicago turns science plus sponsorship into a national ritual. 1983 TV deals make the Gatorade bath the triumphant shorthand for effort. PepsiCo scale awaits, ready to globalize performance chemistry. 2001, PepsiCo buys Quaker. Gatorade gains a worldwide bottling war chest. The 2001 Gatorade Performance Series segments needs from pre to post-workout recovery. By 2013, Gatorade holds roughly 69.5% U.S. share through science and sports marketing. Fuchel's Red Bull reimagines function as culture, not just chemistry. The 1987 Slim Can launches a premium, edgy promise of alertness. Sugar-free in 2003 reframes energy for calorie counters without losing the vibe. By 1997, cliff dives and air races make Red Bull a lifestyle factory. Total Zero, 2012, stretches the portfolio for stricter diets. 2018's organic sodas signal an elastic brand orbit beyond energy. 2020, Red Bull holds 43% global share, the category's apex predator. 2024 sales reached 12.6 billion cans. Lifetime crosses 100 billion since 1987. The share curve rises with every stunt, format, and new geography. A Cliff Diver, 2012, turns spectacle into brand equity with every leap. Corona, California's Monster opts for louder cans, bigger sizes, and wilder tribes. The 2002 Black Claw can screams energy as identity. By 2020, 36 variants chase every taste, calorie, and protein preference. Monster nears 39% of a $57 billion U.S. market, with a growing global footprint. San Francisco's Rockstar leans into motorsports and music for gritty credibility. A tall can from 2001 makes volume and value the hook. The 2010s bring 27 SKUs across 30-plus countries, carried by festivals and street teams. Austin's Whole Foods pauses kombucha in 2010 when alcohol levels test too high. Shelves clear fast. The ferment world learns a hard compliance lesson. Los Angeles GT's rebuilds controls, teaching the category how to stay under 0.5% ABV. Leaders return in months. Smaller brewers take longer, but standards stick. 2014 to 2018. Launches grow about 9.4% as tighter processes unlock scale. By 2019, $600.6 million in sales crowns kombucha, 85.8% of fermented beverages. Houston's Minute Maid pioneered frozen concentrate in 1945, democratizing oranges by the can. That crisp concentrate can promises winter citrus in any kitchen, anytime. Atlanta's Coca-Cola adds distribution muscle to Minute Maid's know-how. The 1973 chilled carton moves closer to the fresh juice dream. Bradenton's Tropicana bets the farm on not-from-concentrate freshness. An NFC carton in the 1980s sells taste as the health signal consumers trust most. 1998, PepsiCo buys Tropicana for just over $3 billion, securing the fresh halo. Mumbai's Unilever sees India's preventive nutrition as a generational growth engine. 2020, Horlicks joins Unilever, integrating a dominant health drink into a bigger system. Milk, malt, and micronutrients become India's everyday preventive ritual under the Horlicks banner. 2000s India fortifies staples, iodized salt, iron flour, vitamins A and D to lift whole populations. Nestlé Vevey extends medical know-how to specialized diets beyond the clinic. 2010, Nestlé acquires Vitaflo, expanding into inborn errors and rare metabolic needs. Vitaflo's powders translate precision therapy into daily nutrition formats. Medical nutrition stretches from hospital stays to lifelong management at home. U.S. cereal makers hit a new wall. The FTC demands claim-by-claim evidence. 2009, the FTC rebukes Frosted Mini-Wheat's attention claim. Data must match promise. 2010, Rice Krispies trims antioxidant claims. Immunity talk meets higher bars. Internal substantiation processes harden across the industry. Lawyers sit beside scientists. Science gets a stamp in Japan. The US and EU police the claims. Probiotics, sports, and fresh juice scale together. Europe, Asia, and North America shift from one-size-fits-all to nutrition tailored by data and values. General Mills prepares heritage brands for clean label scrutiny without losing their soul. In the 2010s, transparency becomes a flavor. Short ingredient lists win trust. Legacy cereals pull dies, cut HFCS, and relearn how to earn the back of box. Chicago's ADM studies what clean label really means in the cart and the kitchen. Research shows awareness rising and a premium many will pay for natural. Organic sales climb steadily, converting niches into national aisles. Acquiring Small Planet Foods keeps organic credibility while scaling distribution. Welwyn Garden City's Tesco leans on design and data to trim waste. 2024 packages shrink by around 60%, and QR codes bring shoppers into the redesign loop. A new charted force, GLP-1 spending reshapes what, when, and how much gets bought. 2025, ADM notes GLP-1 in 23% of U.S. households. Cues and formats suddenly matter more. By 2030, those homes may drive 35% of units sold, even with fewer items per basket. Danone doubles down on protein and fiber for a medicated, mindful consumer. Oikos Pro, Summer 2025, packs 23 grams protein and 5 grams prebiotic fiber for GLP-1 users. Nestlé signals a full-line answer to the portion-controlled high-protein shopper. Vital Pursuit debuts for GLP-1 goals, flipping frozen from indulgence to instrument. Chicago's Conagra tunes beloved brands to new macro missions. Smaller portions, higher protein density, and fibers that help satiety become recipe rules. Gurugram's Nissin localizes comfort to fit the new math of fullness. Bowls shrink, broths get enriched, and instant becomes smarter in India. NCAP cases now flag GLP-1 friendly picks, turning pharmacy signals into grocery wayfinding. Los Angeles Soylent treats meals as code, complete, efficient, and eminently portable. A beige powder in 2014 promises all you need, minus the kitchen. 2015, $20 million from Andreessen Horowitz accelerates an efficiency-first food ethos. That same year, a Prop 65 notice flags heavy metals above California micro-thresholds. 2016, GI issues pause the powder. Algal flour exits and formulas evolve. 2023, Starco Brands acquires Soylent, betting on a durable niche for engineered meals. Danone positions for the microbiome decade, where strains become strategies. University collaborations map diet and gut across populations to guide formulation. 2025. Next-gen probiotics aim to complement specific gut deficits with targeted strains. Kits, apps, and shelf tags converge, so products come with guidance, not just grams. The plant-based curve crests and corrects, separating durable demand from hype. El Segundo's Beyond Meat rides a 2019 IPO surge on climate and curiosity. Stock spikes with fast QSR trials, then resets as 2023-25 reality tests price, taste, and processing. Revenues mirror the reset, shifting from rocket growth to a search for resilient core users. By 2023, retail sales fall about 30% as processing, price, and taste gaps bite. By 2025, the segment steadies near $1 billion, leaner but lasting. Kombucha growth cools to around 4% as big beverage arrives and rules get stricter. Capital expands awareness, but compresses indie margins. The ferment gets formal. Better fermentation controls keep fizz non-alcoholic and legal, stabilizing the shelf. A gleaming tap wall sells the craft, even as compliance hums in the back room. Bellevue's Viome turns microbiome tests into personalized dietary nudges. A kit and app translates sequences into lists of foods to favor and avoid. Charleston's Thorne blends biomarkers, AI, and supplements into a coherent plan. Neural nets and knowledge graphs fuse signals into practical personalized advice. Sunnyvale's 23andMe secures DTC approvals that separate wellness from diagnosis. 2017 clarifies what can be told at home and what still belongs in a clinic. Precision Nutrition is $6.09 billion in 2024 and could double by 2029. A countertop lab scene. Swabs, vials, and phones make the kitchen a clinic. Abbott refines infant nutrition, where every ratio carries parental consequence. 1997, Similac shifts to a 52-48 whey to casein profile, closer to human milk. Pfaffenhofen's HIP raises organic expectations for European parents. A HIP organic formula box signals clean farming as a feeding value. Gentle, organic, and specialty variants multiply as trust becomes the formula's core ingredient. 2024 colostrum market hits $3.61 billion, cow-derived at about 88% share. By 2034, forecast to $7.34 billion, with goat colostrum growing near 6.8% CAGR. New York's Vita Coco builds a category around one fruit and farmer partnerships. A Tetra Pak of coconut water sells natural electrolytes with social impact. By 2024, Vita Coco leads a multi-billion-dollar coconut water market. Category charts show steady gains as hydration and cause marketing reinforce each other. 2020 to 2022, shocks expose fragile vitamin and botanical supply lines, forcing redesigns. 2014 to 2025, Make in India and local incentives pull nutrition manufacturing closer to demand. One shopper, many missions. Health tech guides choices. Segments splinter and expect targeted function. Selective consumption arrives, and protein plus fiber now decide facings and formats. GLP-1 households buy fewer units but trade up for function and satiety. Protein first, fiber second. Smaller portions must still nourish. By 2025, med-adjacent foods are normal with lines made for GLP-1 users. Freezer doors wear macro stickers, turning selection into a quick macro match. Eco becomes equity as Europe and North America ask supply chains to show their math. Impact stories sell the sip. Farmer partnerships align hydration with conscience. 2024. Tesco's QR feedback turns shoppers into co-designers of lower waste packs. Lighter Vita Coco multi-packs make sustainability a value feature, not a penalty. Retailers and CPGs cut waste together. Lighter packs become value. Shoppers help when invited. Resilience is rewired as Asia and North America shorten hops and widen buffers. 2020 to 2025 localization trades margin for reliability, and brands accept the new math. 2021 to 2022, just-in-time fails, vitamins and botanicals get safety stock again. Nissin's high-protein noodle, 2022, turns comfort food into fuel. Near is the new far. Policies pull factories home. Margins shift to resilience. Reliability becomes visible value. Inside-out aesthetics blends vanity with wellness in one convenient routine. Beauty supplements rise from $3.96 billion to a projected $5.76 billion by 2030, led by collagen. A 2025 colostrum shake promises immune and recovery benefits in a creamy format. Immunity and healthy aging cues drive demand. Cow dominates, goat grows fastest. Guardrails keep glow honest. Premiums follow proven actives. Vanity and wellness now merge.